Christian radio host Brian Fisher has a theory as to why the German co-pilot decided to crash the plane last week. Let's watch.
But here's a piece from the IB Times in the UK. 27-year-old co-pilot Andreas Lubitz, believed to have deliberately crashed Germanwings Flight 4U-9525 plane, killing 149 passengers, trawled gay porn websites and sites relating to suicide, investigators have revealed. A police source in Dusseldorf revealed when they looked at his computer that he trawled the dark side of the web, visiting, among other things, sites containing gay porn, suicide themes, and sexual perversions. Later in the piece, the pilot was the target of gossip about his sexuality after briefly working as a flight attendant. Lubitz was given the nickname Tomato Andy, a German term for repressed homosexuals. Apparently that comes from the truth that a tomato is thought to be a vegetable, but it is really a fruit. That's according to Gay Star News. That's where the Tomato Andy thing comes from. Reports have suggested he was troubled by his sexuality. The 27-year-old was treated by 4 psychiatrists in the months leading up to the fatal plane crash. A small mountain of drugs believed to be antidepressants were found at Lubitz's apartment. Now one of the things, and I'm not saying this is the cause. Please don't misunderstand me, but it's striking that one of the health risks that's associated with homosexual behavior is an increased risk of suicidal ideation. I'm looking at a piece on a pro-gay website just talking about the suicide rate among youth. Studies have found that GLBT youth attempt suicide more than 3 times more frequently than their heterosexual counterparts. And now we are discovering that perhaps he was involved in homosexuality, was taking drugs for depression, and perhaps that it would explain his suicidal crash of that plane.
Earlier in the clip, he's like, I'm not saying here that this is the cause and this is the reason why he crashed the plane, that he's gay. Cut to, this may be the reason why he crashed the plane, because he's gay. Okay. Bri, when you bring up the suicide statistics, guess what? They're actually true. There is a higher suicide rate among gay people. But here's the reason why. Because of people like you! Because of a culture that you embrace and you like, where everybody puts down gay people and doesn't treat them like equals, and their families reject them in many respects, and oftentimes because they're religious and they don't accept that kind of lifestyle from their own flesh and blood. And when you have this overwhelming sense and feeling of rejection, and you feel like nobody's there for you, and you feel like society is against you, you're gonna get fucking depressed! I mean, for fuck's sake, man, are you kidding? We're all human beings. We all have feelings. Sometimes I read a negative comment about the show, even though I know it's from some asshole who I don't give a shit about. And I'm like, damn, man, like, I don't want to affect people in a negative way. I don't want them to not like what we're doing. It's going to happen. Of course it's going to happen. That's the reality of life. But if something so minor like that has an effect on me, and I actually am pretty thick-skinned overall, then imagine what somebody feels like when your own family is like, we're disowning you because you're gay. That's unbelievable, man. And that's why these people get depressed and they take extreme actions and stuff like that. Now, I'm actually not saying that that's the reason why this guy crashed the plane, but I am saying that that's exactly why the suicide rates are higher among gay people. And by the way, let's go a step further here. Transgender people. The transgender suicide rate is even higher than the gay suicide rate. And what else is higher in against transgender people? There's even more discrimination against transgender people. Gay people will even admit that and be like, actually, yeah, they have it way worse. So there's a direct correlation between how these groups are treated and how they end up treating themselves because of all this pressure and this feeling of not being loved or cared for, and they just feel terrible. And the response that we should be giving is not to do what this asshole does, which is give a hate speech show every day about gay people, which is ironic because everybody's pretty sure he's in the closet. But we should be embracing the gay community and saying, no, it's cool, man. The Lady Gaga song was great. You're on the right track. You were born this way. Yes, that's the message that they should get because guess what? They're naturally like that. It's just who they are, and there's nothing wrong with it. Who cares? Do whatever the fuck you want to do in that respect. So, also just the idea that, like, well, he's gay, therefore he wanted to kill all the other people. Okay, well, he also ate Greek yogurt, and he used to play Mario on N64. I guess that's why he ended up killing these people. We should ban all things associated with Mario and ban Greek yogurt. Hey, he ate Greek yogurt and he crashed the plane. Got to get rid of the Greek yogurt. Hello? Come on, the idea there's a causation correlation is absurd. And you want to count up the statistics? You want to play that game? Let's play that game. I wonder which gender affiliation has killed more people overall. Straight people or gay people? Not quite sure. So, final thing real fast. You know, for being so anti-gay, Brian Fisher sure does visit a lot of gay websites, doesn't he? Or pro-gay websites, as he describes it. I wonder what other things pop up in his browser when he types in something like pro-gay website or gay website. I wonder if he clicked those sites. That's all I'll say.